You're watching News 10 ABC.
Bullying, especially cyberbullying, has become a serious problem in this country. In fact, a local mother lost her daughter to it.
Schools are supposed to really try to fight it and track it, then report it when they see it. But is it really happening? News 10 ABC's Trishna Begum found some data might be alarming and confusing to the parents out there.
The Dignity for All Students Act was passed in 2012 to help schools create a bully-free environment for all students. And under the law, all schools have to report back to the state about the number of bullying cases that they investigate. Gives parents a chance to look at the numbers and where their child's school stands. But I found the numbers tell a different story. On the outside, 12-year-old Brianna Williams was outgoing and bubbly.
That's one of my favorite pictures of her.
A typical tween taking selfie after selfie. She was even all smiles in her school pictures. But school is where the problem started.
Brianna started complaining about other children, being mean to her, picking on her.
By the 7th grade, it was all too much.
They would tell her to do things like kill herself live on Facebook so everyone could watch.
On December 2014, the day after Christmas,
she made everything perfect that day. And then she went into the bathroom and she didn't come out.
Brianna took her own life.
I think school is a place where children should feel loved and able to learn.
But the reality is, for some students, it's not.
All districts, are faced with the bullying.
Districts are required to report the number of bullying cases to the state education department. The year Brianna killed herself, Gloversville Middle School reported 12 total DASA harassment cases and 2 cyberbullying incidences. But going through DASA reports from the past couple of years, I found several districts who weren't reporting any DASA violations. No bullying, no cyberbullying, zero. One of those districts was Queensbury, where 0 DASA violations were reported for the past 2 school years. Even Principal Damian Switzer was surprised.
It shouldn't be 0. I would expect it to be low, but not 0.
I took these concerns to high school assistant principal Jonathan Baker. It's his job to investigate bullying that's reported to the school.
Honestly, I wasn't here.
The problem is Mr. Baker has only been on this job for the past 5 months.
For the previous years, all I would venture to say is that there were no DASA offenses that took place over the course of that year through investigations.
You're saying there would be no incidences of cyberbullying or bullying in a school of 1,200 students?
I can honestly only go by the report.
Queensbury isn't alone. This past school year, Gloversville High School, South Glens Falls, Hadley Luzerne, and Schoharie all had 0.
I think it's absolutely unbelievable. I think there's bullying anywhere you go.
After investigating further, the Queensbury superintendent said in a statement, it is possible for an incident to meet the threshold for VADER reporting and not DASA reporting. VADER stands for Violent and Disruptive Incident Data. It mainly looks at school safety. In 2014 and 15, Queensbury did have 16 reports of harassment. Now, according to the state, there are a higher set of standards under DASA, some of which includes determining if there's a hostile environment affecting a student's educational performance, factors the district believes can be subjective and up for interpretation.
Sometimes bullying is a generic term that's applied to every situation where, for us, it often boils down to conflict.
Mona's whole reason for speaking out now, she wants people to know Brianna was bullied to death, and that's why she believes 0 tolerance should be enforced.
I think it's 100% all about accountability.
Queensbury superintendent also tells me he feels there's a lack of training out there. The school has recognized this as a problem. Just this past month, they had a training session for administrators on how to better identify violations so they can keep better track. For now, in the studio, I'm Trishna Begum for News 10 ABC.
Boy, that's sad.
And that story hopefully sparking a lot of important conversations with parents and their kids, whether they are being bullied or whether they could be the aggressors.
Yeah, and you also think of the parents watching your kids for changing a behavior because they might not be telling mom or dad that this is what's going on, and you need that communication.
All right, we're going to turn our attention over now to